Hi there. In this video, I'm going to show you how to digitize a very basic business card holder. So this is probably one of the easiest in the hoop projects you can digitize and you can make. So if you're totally new to digitizing, this is a great place to start. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to create a new page. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hop over to create mode, and this button shows up if you have any version of StitchArtist loaded. You can do this with just StitchArtist level 1. I happen to have all 3, so you're going to see some other options that you may not see if you just have level 1. So we'll click on create mode, and the first thing we're going to do is we are going to go to one of these geometric shapes. So if I click on the drop down arrow, I can get to my rectangle. Okay. And I'm just going to draw a rectangle here, and I don't really care how big it is right now. It's just an object. I'm going to resize it to be the perfect size for my business card holder. Now, if I look over, actually I'm going to do a vertical one, so it'll be more like this and longer. Okay. Oh, that's not the right proportion. Like that. Okay, now I'm going to jump out of create mode just to make it easier to size this object. So we'll click on the button again, and I'll go into my measurements over here, and I'm going to make this 3 3/4 inch tall. But before I do that, so it's 3 3/4 inches down here, I want to unlock the proportions because I want to scale this disproportionately. And my width is going to be 2 1/4 inches. All right. Now, I might need to do this again because I think I clicked on this unlock too late. So let's just say 2 1/4 inch. Okay, that is the size that I want. Now you may be wondering why that size. Well, a standard business card size is 2 inches by 3.5 inches. I'm just going 1/4 inch bigger than this all the way around to show where I put my fabric down. Okay, so this is my placement stitching, and I want it outside of the area where I'm going to be working just to show me what where the stitch area is going to be. Let's go back into create mode, and we will attach a running stitch to this. So I'm going to click on that button up there. Now it is a run. It doesn't matter what color it is actually right now, and it's just a single run, 2.5 millimeters. Again, this is just placement stitching. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is, if you can imagine, I'm stitching this out. This is going to go on some water-soluble stabilizer. Okay, we have our placement stitching. Now we're going to lay down our fabric over the placement stitching. Okay, and this is going to be the front of the business card holder. Now, for this business card holder, if you can imagine, I want to have like basically like a full back, but kind of slanted down and revealed in the front. Okay, so I'm going to kind of hop around a little bit here. Let's first make another rectangle, and I can do that by just duplicating what I have here, copy and paste, and I'm going to change its color so we can see some clear differentiation here. Whoops, I am going to change its color. Okay. And this is actually going to be my finished stitching. Now for this, I only want it to be 1/8 of an inch all around, larger than a business card. Okay, so let's change the dimensions on this. Hop out of create mode, and I'm going to change the dimensions of this to be 2 1/8 by 3 5/8. Okay, and if we zoom in a little bit, you can see that that this is smaller. Oh, maybe the width is not, doesn't look smaller to me. So let's look at this again. 2 1/8. There we go. By 3 5/8. Okay. Now, the reason why I jumped to this is because I needed to get the final kind of outline of what the finished stitching is for my business card to be able to draw the line that is going to reveal the card underneath. Okay, just bear with me here. Let's go back to create mode, and I'm just going to draw a line, and I'm going to draw it, let's zoom in a little bit. I'm going to draw it from the edge, and I'm going to pan down of here to the edge of the other side. Okay, all right, so there I have my line. I'm gonna attach some stitching to it, so I'm clicking, but this time I'm gonna make it more decorative, so I'm gonna say a bean stitch. Okay, and let's change its color. Pink is fine. All right, this is really all I need, but I have things in the wrong order, and I'm going to move this one down. That would be the smaller rectangle, and I'm going to change its stitch type to a bean as well. All right, let me explain what's going on here. Now, we know the first area of stitching is just for a placement stitch. All right, so this is happening on our water soluble stabilizer. We lay a layer of vinyl or felt or whatever you're making this out of, or fake leather or whatever. We lay that down over the green line. Next, we're going to stitch this run right here, this area right here. It's just a line. After we're done stitching, now this is on top of the top layer of the vinyl. After we're done stitching, we're going to just trim along this right here. If I want to personalize the front of my business card holder, then I'm going to add some initials or something right there. Okay, when that's done stitching, then I'm going to take the back pieces of my business card holder, stick them to the back of my hoop, and then do this final layer of stitching, which is going to hold everything together. But we have this line here that's going to reveal the inside of my business card holder. So just for the fun of it, let's add some initials. All right, I'm going to do my husband's initials, and I'm going to pick a font that will work well at a very small scale. This is a built-in font that is part of Embrilliance. So we have initials right there, kind of big, but that's okay. And let's move this up so it comes right after this run right here, and let's make it the same color as that as well. So what will happen is that when I have that top piece on, it'll do this line right here, and it will do the initials. Then I'll trim that, stick the stuff to the back, put it back on the hoop, and it'll do the final level of stitching. So this is all I need to do a business card holder. Let's take a look at what this looks like stitching out. Okay, we're ready to start test stitching our business card holder. As you can see, I have it loaded up on the machine over here. I did rotate it 90 degrees in order to better fit in my embroidery hoop. Now I'm only going to be using one color, so this is totally doable to stitch on a single needle machine, and I'm just going to stitch it in white, and my bobbin color is white. Again, if you want decorative stitching, I would change your bobbin thread to match the top thread. Okay, so let's get started. I have a embroidery hoop on here that has water soluble stabilizer, and it's hooped very tightly. And so now I believe I can begin. Okay, so my first thread color is just placement stitching. So we're going to stitch this directly on the water soluble stabilizer. I have this set up to stitch in green, mostly so we can see it. So let's go ahead and start it. Okay, there we have our placement stitching. I forgot to have the machine stop after that color, so I had to interrupt it. But now we can see that our placement rectangle has been made. Okay, so let's lay down our top layer. Okay, I've cut a small piece of black vinyl, and I'm just gonna lay it over my top layer. I could tape it down, that might not be a bad idea. Actually, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And then we're gonna start stitching our next thread color. And I'm gonna do it in white this time. So I added a little bit of tape here just to hold it in place. And I made sure that my tape is not gonna be over where my machine is gonna stitch, because I don't wanna stitch through the tape, it just gets messy. So I'm ready to stitch my next thread color. So let's go ahead and do that. Look at those letters, they look so good. I'm now ready to take this off the machine, do a little trimmage along that top line, and then attach the back pieces, and then we will return it to the machine. Okay, here we go. Okay, I have this all taped together. I think we're ready to finish the stitching. All right, our stitching is all done. We just need to trim this excess part away, get it wet, and our project's done. So here is my finished business card holder. You can see that the pocket came open here once I got rid of the water soluble stabilizer. So let's let it dry and then we'll see how it fits some business cards.